If you're a beginner trader, I have tons of tips for you, and today I want to share with you 5 that may help you right now. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is just for educational purposes only. Let's get into it. Number 1, your priority as a beginner is to learn, not earn. I often see new traders in such a rush to make money that they don't give it the proper time to develop before trying to make a living out of this. I like to look at the stock market as the biggest and greatest video game of all time. And just like any video game out there, you're going to suck the first time you play it. I remember when I first started playing Call of Duty, I used to get stomped on. But as I kept playing and putting an unhealthy amount of time into the game, I started to get familiar with the maps, spawn points, my reaction times got faster, and now I was the one doing the stomping. Listen, the level of progression is gradual. It's not a light switch we turn on. We don't go from knowing nothing to knowing everything in a flash. It's a process. We all have to go through it, not just in day trading, but in anything we're trying to get better at. Think about one thing you're good at, whether it's a profession, a video game, hobby, whatever. How much time in total have you put into that one thing to have the knowledge and skill you have today? I'm guessing it wasn't overnight. So when I see beginner traders risking more than they should, I just don't understand that from a logical point of view. That's like trying to learn poker at a high stakes table. To me, that shows you're not trying to learn, you're trying to get lucky, which most definitely can happen on a few hands. But in the long run, you're probably walking away from that table empty-handed. So the logical thing to do is to start off at the $1, $2 table because we're trying to minimize the cost of learning. So you should not be focusing on making money as a beginner. You need to be prioritizing on developing your skills as a trader. Now, having said all that, I do still think it's important to risk some money. I know some brokerages offer paper trading where you can practice with fake money. And I think that's great for getting familiar with the platform, getting comfortable with placing orders and backtesting strategies. But in terms of growth, I think it's important to have some skin in the game. If we go back to the poker example, imagine practicing with fake money. You're going to have a much easier time bluffing, raising, calling, folding because you have no attachment to those chips. So the problem with that is once you get thrown into a real game, you're probably going to play differently because now you have something real to lose, which turns it into a different game psychologically. Psychology is a huge component in trading, so you want to get your reps in with live trading because you're going to need to develop your tolerance of controlling your emotional attachment to money. And of course, this is given that you are practicing a working strategy and not trading out your butthole. And the game is to last long enough to develop into a consistent, profitable trader, and then you can slowly scale up your risk amount to build up your tolerance and of course your profits. So how do we get from surviving to thriving? We do that by eliminating the mistakes we make along the way. Finding success is actually a process of elimination. So one thing you can do right now to improve your trading is to not look for what you should be doing, but what you should not be doing. I write in a daily trading sheet to keep track of my trades, ideas, notes, and mistakes. And by writing in something like this every day, it will reveal the holes that's causing money to leak out of your account. And by at least plugging those holes, eliminating what's not working for you, at the very least, it will help keep your ship stay afloat. There's a saying, approach your losses as if you're paying tuition, but keep in mind it's only considered tuition if you're actually learning from those losses. If you're not, then it's just donation. So stop making the same mistakes unless you like being a charitable trader, because you should trade the style that makes you smile. There's no one size fits all, and you need to find what's best fit for you because we all have different backgrounds, personalities, and preferences. If you look at Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron, just because they're professional basketball players doesn't mean they need to be playing every position. They all had their dedicated roles and their own styles and played off their strengths. You should approach trading the same way. There's tons of ways to make money in the stock market with equities, options, futures that branch off to all different kinds of methodologies and strategies. And by spending time in the market and finding one that you understand and gravitate to, that's where you need to set up shop. I always tell beginners, whoever you're learning from, constantly and annoyingly ask why until you get a deep understanding of what you're doing. For me, that's trading gaps. This strategy makes the most logical sense to me when day trading the market. And as someone who likes to get in and out of trades, make quick profits, scalping is what I prefer doing. And your trading may look different. Maybe you prefer to take less trades, shoot for bigger targets and hold runners. Maybe it's not even day trading. Maybe it's swing trading, core trading. Whatever it is, do what fits your personality and goals. But whatever you choose to do, be consistent in your trading. Don't deviate from your trading plan and be consistent in your risk amount. I can't tell you how important that is. Day trading is a game of probability, and if you're risking different dollar amounts for every trade, it's hard to let that probability work in your favor. Example, let's say we were to flip a coin, there's a 50% chance of it being heads or tails. And if we were to flip it 10 times, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a 50% result. We may see something like 7 heads, 3 tails, or maybe even 10 tails. But I bet you if we were to flip it 10,000 times, we will most likely see close to a 50% result. So by risking the same amount for every trade, even through losing streaks and winning streaks, you're letting that probability work out in the long run. So don't risk randomly, because if you do random shit, you're going to get random results. And if you don't know how to risk the same dollar amount for every trade, I'll link my share sizing video somewhere on the screen. And this will help you track your performance and allow you to scale and have more control over your bottom line. So real quick, just to summarize the 5 tips. Number 1, prioritize learning, not making money, because you're not going to be profitable yet. Number 2, risk the minimum amount to minimize the cost of your learning, and once you start seeing consistent profit, then you can scale up from there. Number 3, track the mistakes you make and eliminate them, because finding success is a process of elimination. Number 4, we're all built differently, so trade the way that suits your personality and goals. And 5, be consistent in your trading plan and risk size to better control your bottom line. I hope that was helpful. Hit that like button if it was. As always, I appreciate you for being here, and I hope to see you on the next one.